And we're here at Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival with Heidi Olsen, who has been running the Wernick Method Jam class for about 7-8 years or so. And tell us, Heidi, about the class. Like, what is the Wernick Method class?
So the Wernick Method class is a terrific class. You know, in the bluegrass community, there are a lot of folks who come out to bluegrass festivals and they camp here, they bring their instruments, they have a great time, and at nights, during breaks in the festival, they're at their campgrounds picking, singing, having a wonderful time. And then there's a whole cadre of people who come to the festival, they bring their instruments, and they're kind of looking longingly at these picking circles that are happening, wondering, how can I get to join them? And the Wernick Method class is geared to novice pickers like that. People who have a little bit of skill, who can easily change between G, C, D, and A, but just really aren't sure, how do I join that picking circle? So here at the Wernick Method Jam class, it's a 3-day class, 2 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We give people the fundamentals of what they know to comfortably join a jam circle. As you become more confident, you're going to become louder, but just think about your volume. When you're ready, you start singing. We talk about etiquette, tuning, song selection, how to take a break, how to lead a song, how to make sure you end with the rest of the group. And I think that the important thing about this jam class is not only here at Delaware Valley, but at Nationwide, is recognizing the people who are coming to festivals and seeing the music are really taking part in it. And what we want to do is foster all of this learning and making sure that we are developing the next generation of pickers who in 5 years are going to be looked upon wistfully at the novice picker coming in and saying, gee, how do I do that? We have classes nation and worldwide, and we do that. So we really are putting together the next generation of bluegrass pickers that are picking out in the field. I love it. The people are fabulous. The bluegrass community is a totally awesome community, and I have a great time at it.
Do you notice much of a difference from day one to the end of the festival per student?
The exciting thing is, for me, is that when everybody shows up on Friday, they're very tentative, they're nervous, they're very scared. They're worried about all the mistakes that they're going to make because they feel like, I'm just not good enough to do this. So really, I think as jam instructors, we really have to recognize that it's a real leap of faith for somebody to, first of all, just show up at the class. Because I've had so many students say to me, you know, I've been watching your class for a couple of years now, because I have a sign that says spectators welcome, and then they finally get up the courage to join the class. Then the difference is striking. Between Friday and Sunday, it's only 6 hours of class, but I'll tell you, by Sunday, people are so much more confident, they're comfortable, and they know what they need to do to be successful. They're able to do it competently in the jam class situation, and I know when we turn them loose on the festival grounds, they're not going to have any problem either. So that, to me, is what's really exciting. Never feel shy about saying no, stop, a little bit faster, a little bit slower. That's perfectly acceptable. Will the circle be unbroken? And I have been actually doing jam classes for Pete since 2010, when we started hashing out the idea, because I had been doing this since about 2000, and so it was just a natural for me.
How would people want to sign up for this? How do they? Could they do that before coming here?
So there are a couple of things you can do. You can go to letspick.org and you'll see where all the Wernick Method classes are going to be held. Click on Woodstown, and you can sign up in advance. If you're kind of nervous, you're on the fence, then you can come the first day and you can sign up for all 3 days, or you can just choose to come one day. A lot of people kind of put their toe in the water. Well, maybe it's going to be good. I'm not sure. I'll come for one day. So they come for one day and they're like, okay, I'm hooked. I'll come for the rest of the day. So you can sign up the day of. We don't discriminate. We just are looking for a bunch of people who want to have fun playing bluegrass music.
And I could say it's definitely been extremely helpful for so many people out there, and I think that those people out there also highly recommend it quite often as well. Do they come back and say hi to you often?
So that is what's really gratifying to me. So I had 2 incidents just this weekend that stand out. One of the things that makes the Wernick Method do so well is that we give instruction on what you should do in a group setting, and then we break out into small jamming groups, and then you get to practice those skills. So we can't all be in the same room. So we moved one of our jamming groups out here on the porch underneath the roof. And so when that jamming group was done and they were coming back inside, the woman who was in the trailer right next to the roof stopped my assistant, Mary, and said, I'm so glad you guys are here. She said, I camped here in this spot for the first time last year. And she said, I was really hoping that the jam class was going to be here again this year. That's why I picked this spot to camp, because I wanted to camp where you guys were playing. And then I had another gentleman, Ron, come back to see me on Friday, and he said, I was in last year's class, and he said, I have to tell you, he said, I have been playing music like crazy since then. He said, not just bluegrass music, he said, actually a whole bunch of different kinds of music, but he said, everything you taught me in the class, I have used in this past year. He said, I'm so glad I came to the class. So that's why I'm doing it. How do you feel singing it?
Was there a surprise guest that came by one of these days?
Well, one of the great things about the Delaware Valley Festival is they book awesome talent. And this year, the band Hot Rise is celebrating their 40th anniversary in bluegrass music. They started way back in 1978. So the namesake of our method, Pete Wernick, is actually the banjo player for Hot Rise, and they were appearing at the festival Friday night. So as an added bonus, Hot Rise was going to be here Friday night, and I said to Pete, hey, would you like to come and meet the class and do a little shake and howdy? And he said, absolutely. So he was here at the festival. I went and picked him up from his hotel. He said, I can't wait to get to the festival. He said, I don't want to sit in the hotel. I want to be at the festival to meet the people, talk with people, talk music, see what's happening, listen to the picking, and hear some great music. So it was really terrific. He was very generous with his time. The class got to meet him, and he's just a terrific guy. Look at the legacy he's left. He started in bluegrass in 1978 in one of the seminal bands in bluegrass music. He was the IBMA president, International Bluegrass and Music Association president, for 15 years. Now he started the Wernick Method jam classes all across the country and the world, and he's given up giving banjo clinics because he so firmly believes in having jam classes. So that's what he's doing. He's leaving a great legacy for bluegrass music, and I feel very lucky to be counted as Pete Wernick's friend.
Well, thanks so much. And do you have any classes or anything you want to talk about coming up?
Starting this February, somewhere near Manasquan, New Jersey, I'm going to be running an 8-week Wernick Method class. And the nice thing about an 8-week class is that you get some instruction during the week, you have a week to practice it, get a little more skillful at it, and then you come back next week, and then we keep building until that 8th week. So it'll be an 8-week class, 2.5 hours a night. And look for that on letspick.org. Look for me, Heidi Olsen, and see what's happening.
What time of the year is that?
It's going to start in February.
Okay.
It'll be winter, because you were closed in the winter, not a lot to do. So what better thing than to play some music?
I agree. Well, thank you very much, Heidi.
My pleasure, Scott.